about North Carolina FC and how about the start of the 2020 USL Championship season as we welcome you to Cary, North Carolina, the beautiful Wake Met Soccer Park, home to North Carolina FC, who today opened the season against perennial USL Championship power Louisville City FC. And hello everybody, I'm Dean Linke, proud to be in my 14th season and proud to be joined by our very own Benjamin Button, Ponce de Leon, number 6, Austin Deleuze. You finally retire, but you join me in the booth. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot, Dean. It's great to stay involved with the club. I'm really excited to be up here in the booth with one of the best in the biz, and I think we're going to get a good game today.
I also think we're going to see a good team in North Carolina FC.
Yeah, a lot of carryover from last year, a lot of continuity, and some great additions that I think are going to bring a lot to the team and hopefully make another run to the playoffs.
Certainly you were a fan favorite, but when you think fan favorites of this club, you think about this guy wearing number 10 again, the captain, Nazmi Abadawi.
Yeah, Naz, he's fit, he's back, he's got the captain's armband, he's really, really motivated to get back to his best. So I'm really excited to see what Naz brings this season. Don't be surprised if he makes a run for MVP of this league. And then also, probably doesn't get enough credit, it's Miller time with Stephen Miller. Yeah, Steve's a grinder. He does the dirty work. Like you said, he's an underrated guy, but also coming off a really productive season. He had 9 goals last year, and he wants those double digits. He's going to go for 10 this year, I think. Louisville City FC, all they do is win, and now they got back Mr. Lancaster. This guy can score some goals. Yeah, Lancaster's a big-time player. Coach Hackworth was really, really excited to have him back in the lineup after an interesting season in Nashville last year. He's back home, and I'd expect him to challenge for the Golden Boot in USL this year. So here we go for a whole lot of How About North Carolina FC. We'll have the lineups and the kickoff, the start of the 2020 USL Championship season when we return.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. Back in the swing of things. Back in the groove. Wake Med Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
Beautiful day for soccer. There's the captain, Nazmi Abadawi, as we are getting ready alongside Austin Deleuze, Dean Linke with you. Louisville City FC, they had won the title in 17 and 18. They were the league finalists a year ago. They are a big-time team here, always right there at the end. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Austin Deleuze, we'll start with North Carolina FC. Break down the starting 11 for Dave Sarachan now in his second year. Yeah, a lot of familiar faces. You know, the entire starting lineup is returning from last season. I think the strength of North Carolina FC's roster is in the midfield, where you got Nazmi Abadawi, Ben Spees, Graham Smith, Manny Perez, and Stephen Miller. A lot of production there. One question mark, I wouldn't even call it a question mark, but somebody who's going to have to step up is Caleb Duvernay.
He's replacing Aaron Guillen, who left for Tampa Bay. So look for Caleb to grow and progress as this game goes on and as the season goes on.
Great breakdown of the starting lineup for North Carolina FC, and this is the starting lineup for Louisville City FC.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces for Louisville. I mean, they've been the standard bearers for USL over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's because they've kept this core group. So, you've got guys like Speedy Williams and Niall McCabe and Brian Ownby, who have been a huge part of this team over the last few years, and also got some great additions in Corbin Bone and Jimmy Ockford, both guys with MLS experience that are only going to, raise the level of this team. I think, you're going to see them contribute big time this year.
All right, and Corbin Bone in that starting lineup. So North Carolina FC, as you see Stephen Miller, and also you'll get a close-up as well of the new logo on the front of the jersey, Dreamville. That was a big announcement a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not bad, right? A really, really cool local partnership with Dreamville Festival. It's just J. Cole's music festival here in Raleigh. A lot of people excited about that. I think they've sold quite a few already.
I feel like I'm already a little bit hipper with my kids as well because they're all about J. Cole,
Yeah, you're plenty hip already, man. Come on.
All right, great to be with everybody as we're counting down to the start of the 2020 campaign. North Carolina FC in their home blues with the new Dreamville Festival logo. Louisville City FC in their visiting whites. USL Championship 2020 action underway. And their first look there at Manny Perez. When Manny Perez was on, he was electrifying at times last year.
Yeah, he was. And I think the key for Manny is just consistency. And, speaking to him before the game, he seems very excited. He seems like his mindset's gotten a little bit better, and he's ready to produce this year.
Alex Kamsia sends it in to the Oak City supporters. They love them some Austin Deleuze back there. They were fired up for you.
I think they'll get over it pretty quickly here.
Ben Lunt is a giant in goal for Louisville City FC. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's spent last season here on loan from FC Cincinnati. He's back for another year. He's definitely a presence in goal for them.
A little touch there from Sam Brotherton. Not just a center back, he can also score some goals coming forward on corner kicks. Brotherton spent time with the Wisconsin Badgers. This back line, I got to believe, is the youngest back line in the league. There's some youngsters back there.
Yeah, definitely young, but not inexperienced. They all played big parts last year. DJ Taylor is the one for me that I think is going to be a leader here in the 2020 season. He's coming off of a really, really strong 2019. He's been a mainstay in the lineup for the last couple of seasons now, and for somebody as young as he is, that's pretty unique.
There's Dave Sarakin now in his second season. Came over after being the U.S. national team coach after Bruce Arena resigned when the USA, of course, this will be the last time we talk about it, did not make that last World Cup. Hopefully that never happens again as Duvernay goes over there. But yeah, I think you got to give Dave Sarakin a ton of credit for filling in before they hired a full-time coach, and then his commitment here has been admirable.
Yeah, he's been amazing since he stepped in here at North Carolina FC. He's, totally changed the culture, and yeah, I mean, making the playoffs last year is a perfect example of the progression of the club.
Spies trying to find Perez. Spies, Smith, this man right here, and Abadawi in the center of the park. Don't be surprised if you see Dre Fortune at some point. Manny Perez drops it over. Nazmi Abadawi right inside the 18. You know the deal. If we're going to prop Nazmi Abadawi up for MVP, he's going to have numbers to support it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see Naz in and around the box, just like he was on that play there.
Brian Ownby coming the other way as he was looking to find Lancaster. And now finally the visitors here, Louisville City FC, have a little possession. They've got a brand new stadium in Louisville, downtown Louisville. You talk about a team that deserves that. This team does. When you look at, remind us what they did the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's conference finals, league champs, and then last year coming off of a finalist finish. And, it's funny to say that a team of their caliber feels like they might have unfinished business, but I think, Louisville thinks they have unfinished business this year. I think they believe they should have won that championship last year at home, and they'll be pushing this year to get back to that spot.
There's some of the danger that Lancaster can cause right in front of the 18. And you and I both spent time with John Hackworth, as you see Dave Sarakin on the side for North Carolina FC. Pretty good coach sitting as well for Louisville City FC. Longtime U.S. soccer youth coach. Great success, and he's had great success at Louisville.
Yeah, it's no surprise he's a Demon Deacon, right? Yeah, he's done a great job stepping in since he's got to Louisville. James O'Connor obviously was there prior to him and built a great foundation, but John's done a really good job of maintaining that culture and just keeping that winning going.
Here's Ben Spees. After the season was over, he got a job with the North Carolina soccer team, a team he won a national championship with. He also won one at Akron, and Ben Spees will go down. And Spees is another one of those veterans. I mean, Dave Sarakin loves this guy.
Yeah, Ben's he's an important piece of this team. He's a guy who can change the game at any point. He's got that attacking ability, that little bit of creativity that you need to unlock teams. So he's fun to watch.
Think about subs for North Carolina FC. I already mentioned Dre Fortune coming off a big-time campaign a year ago. He signed late, so he kind of joined the team a little late. He's going to have to earn his time, but Dave Sarakin did expect to see him, and also Haji Berry. We expect to see him. Pekka not listed as a sub as he's dealing with a little bit of an injury. Sent in by Smith. Duvernay is over there. Duvernay in a battle. Caleb Duvernay played at NC State. And that'll go out of bounds. It'll stay. Nope, now they'll switch it back over. It'll come back to Louisville City FC.
Yeah, we mentioned Caleb Duvernay before the game. He's got big shoes to fill with Aaron Guillen leaving for Tampa Bay. But we saw Caleb step in and do it at different points last year. Here and there he did well stepping in as a spot starter. But now he's got to step up, and be a reliable guy week in, week out.
35 teams this year in USL Championship as Nashville gets propped up. Turnover, Manny Perez. Quickly, Abadawi. Now trying to find Spees. Spees stays with it. Spees, who wore number 10 last year, gave 10 back to Abadawi this time around. Diving header, and no problem for the Giant Lunt in goal. John Hackworth assisted by Danny Cruz and Scott Budnick. Dave Sarakin assisted by John Bradford. Nick Platter, and I'll let you introduce the newest member of the coaching staff.
Another Demon Deacon. Mike McGinty comes in and fill out the coaching staff, and another great addition. Super experienced. He's been with U.S. Soccer. He's coming off of a stint as the head coach at St. Louis University, where he coached Robbie Christo. Really good guy.
That's a good segue, because Robbie Christo is the one name we haven't said just yet. Christo was the super sub of super subs a year ago as they try to find the high-flying Cameron Lancaster, who's listed at 6 feet 190. He's got some decent size, dangerous.
Yeah, and this is him, right? He's always in the box. He's always trying to find his way to get on the end of things, and you see the diving header there just wide, but Alex Comcia and Sam Brotherton are really going to have to keep an eye on him in the penalty area.
So 8 minutes in, as the Greek Freak, as we're calling him now, our own version.
He loves that. He loves that nickname.
Alex Tambakis. Duvernay will play it back to Tambakis. You trained with him every day for the last couple years. How are his feet?
They're good. They're good, and they've gotten better. He's gotten much more comfortable playing with his feet, and I think the key is just finding balance, right? When to try to play out and when to get your team up and in and not get long. It's okay to do that sometimes, but yeah, he full confidence in playing back there with his feet.
Alex Comcia, lofted ball to Perez. Perez. Touch gets away from him. Manny Perez. along with Andrew Gutman, the star from Indiana, won the Mac Herman Trophy a couple years ago. Both those players signed by Celtic. That still will take some time, right, with how they work that system and dealing with visas and everything.
Yeah, there's always different elements to signing with a team like that. But I think the biggest thing for Manny is just to keep getting games, keep getting experience, and keep growing and progressing as a player. And if you end up getting back over there and playing for Celtic, fantastic. But you know, last year he was in and out of the lineup, injured here and there, and I think he was disappointed to not go straight over and get right into it with Celtic. But this year he seems to have a different mindset. He's happy to be here. He's thankful to be, you know, playing at home in front of his friends and family, and I think he's going to have a big year.
Turnover, Louisville City FC. Lancaster will drop it back. Good little touch. Now they play it forward. Ownby right at the top of the 18. It'll fall. And cleared out of there by Kamsia. Alex Kamsia, former ACC Defender of the Year, played for the Tar Heels. Alex was part of the Vancouver system, and I think he thought maybe that's how it would work out for him, but he's another guy that has enjoyed the fact that he played collegiately at Chapel Hill and he's been able to stay in the area.
Yeah, it's great. So many local ties. You know, Alex Kamsia played for the U23 team here with North Carolina FC. And it's awesome to see so many guys that have, you know, ties to the area one way or another end up playing here for the first team.
Abadawi picks it off. Abadawi playing for the Palestine national team now. Here's Manny Perez. Perez, those long legs, that stride, hard to deal with. And the Oak City supporters looking for a penalty. They won't get that, but it's a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, that's a close one there. And this is what Manny Perez does, right? He asks questions of your back line. He gets that touch in behind. And I'll tell you what, that's pretty close to being a penalty. I'm okay with the no call there, but Oxford was hanging on for dear life. Ultimately, does well, though, to put Manny off just enough to knock it out of bounds.
Graham Smith. Smith driven in far post. Looking for Robbie Christo. Christo, who was coached by Mike McGinty at St. Louis, so that connection will be solid as well and important.
Yeah, definitely. I was joking with McGinty before the game, saying he's the Christo whisperer. They brought him in just to see if we can get Robbie Christo on track right from the start this year.
Ownby, and a little collision there. Brotherton and Kamsia. Referee with a quick word. I gotta believe that's all it's going to be. Next one, perhaps maybe a little paint, but that time just a little talk.
Yeah, you can see here, not the worst foul to take it at the halfway line, especially with a guy like Ownby who's just got pace to spare.
Wake Met Soccer Park, they have done a ton of improvements out here. One of the last things they were able to do was bring in the new sod, so it doesn't quite look exactly like it usually looks, but it will. Just give it time, right?
Yeah, it's not quite as aesthetically pleasing as usual, but it's going to play fine. It's flat. It's, you know, it's grass. It'll settle in.
Tambakis looking for Christo. Loose ball. Here's Alex Kamsia. Perez, they try to squeeze him home, but he can close down quick, can he?
Yeah, he's very, very quick, and that's one thing this Louisville team does really well is press together. You know, they're so familiar with each other. They have so many guys that have been here for several seasons. You look at the roster, they've got 10 guys that have been with this club for at least 3 seasons. Several of them have been with the club for more than that. You know, you've got Niall McCabe, George Davis, Paulo Del Piccolo, Oscar Jimenez, Magnus Rasmussen, Luke Spencer, Brian Ownby, Speedy Williams, Sean Tosh, and Cameron Lancaster, all with at least 3 seasons. And like I said, several of them with more than that. I mean, that's remarkable for USL, for professional sports in general. That's pretty remarkable, but for lower division professional soccer, to have that kind of continuity speaks to the quality of the club. And you know, it helps off the field, getting fans engaged, but on the field, there's no replacement for continuity like that.
Well said. Yeah, usually you'll find maybe 3 to 5, but to have double that, great point, Austin, and part of the reason this team has been so successful. Ownby with that great left foot. In the box is Louisville City FC. Sent back across as that was Corbin Bone wearing 13. Now it's back to Pat McMahon. A couple touches is now Louisville starting to show their class here. Early on, I felt like it was the home team, the team in blue, that held quite a bit of play.
Yeah, Louisville starting to find their rhythm here. You know, doing what they do. They get guys on the ball. They move it really well. A lot of interchange, a lot of rotation. You're going to see, you know, their entire front six are pretty much comfortable playing anywhere on the field, and even their outside backs. You can see how high Oscar Jimenez is getting here. They're comfortable up there as well. It's one of the most difficult things about playing against them.
Taylor. Little touch back there by Speedy Williams from Jamaica. Good ball. Jimenez. He'll square it back to Speedy. Angled ball too hard for Ownby, and it'll come back to Timbakis. Minute 16. We saw Lancaster be dangerous for Louisville City FC. We saw Manny Perez almost draw a penalty kick. Those have probably been the two most dangerous opportunities, as there Perez tucks under. Perez will try to get to it. Perez will stay with it. Manny Perez. Oh, far side, there was two blue jerseys. He went near post instead, tried to find Cristo, but Miller was making a run on the far post, and he was open.
Yeah, that's Manny Perez to a T right there. You know, he fights through a couple tackles. He's able to find some space. And, yeah, you can see this touch up the sideline. Referee lets the play go. And that's a ball that Manny Perez absolutely loves. He loves that curling ball in behind the back line in front of the goalkeeper. It just doesn't quite get enough on it that time. But it's no secret what North Carolina FC are looking to do here early.
You're hearing the wisdom of Austin DeLuz. Fantastic career here with North Carolina FC. Wake Forest all-time assist leader. That's for Tory Winchester specifically. Here's Nazmi Abadawi back over to Miller. And Ownby. Miller. I'll tell you, this is just the first game of the season, but for my eyes, I see two pretty good teams out there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, these are two teams that showed a ton of quality last season. I think North Carolina FC last year hit a stretch late in the season that really hurt going into the playoffs. You know, I think it was in the month of August. Lost 4 of 5 games, and that really hurt us in the standings. But yeah, two teams that are going to be challenging at the top of the table, I think, throughout the 2020 season.
Jimenez will bomb it to the other side. Quick bounce, and it'll come back to Stephen Miller, who's going to leave it for Duvernay and North Carolina FC. Sharpie will bring it back to Ben Lunt. What do you remember about playing against Sharpie?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a solid addition for Louisville. I think he's you know, it's interesting that for all the continuity that they have, that the two new additions are paired together at center back. So you wonder if that's a relationship they're still building and still working out. We'll see how it goes for the rest of this game, but both Sharpie and Ockford, obviously very good, experienced players.
Off the head of Taylor. Corbin Bone. Now Ownby. You're right. Ownby can kind of go where he wants to go, right, to get involved.
Yeah, I think, all these attacking midfielders between Bone, McCabe, Ownby, even Speedy Williams and Masoso to a little bit of a lesser extent, but they're given the freedom to kind of go where they want to try to make things happen.
I think tactically, Austin Duluth, a lot of times we'll see coach say they're playing a 4-3-3, but it really is like 5, and this is a real 4-3-3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see right now as well, you see Jimenez here on the left and McMahon over on the right are in line with Cameron Lancaster, the striker. So rotation like that it just causes problems. It's difficult to deal with.
Taylor. Not enough space. Quick throw in here. Nice reaction by Oscar Jimenez. Boy, I thought Bone had a chance to strike it. He let it go as he was looking for one more pass. I thought Bone had an angle to go ahead and turn on it.
I thought he was going to hit that one. Tried to slip Ownby in. Not quite enough on it.
So 27 kept alive, but now Brotherton. You know Brotherton better than me, but every conversation I've had with him, I feel like he's the 50-year-old, you know? I mean, the guy carries himself well.
Yeah, he's wise beyond his years. He's experienced. He played over in England. That's obviously a whole different experience than playing over here in college. He's very, very mature, especially for his age.
20 minutes in. It's March 7th, and yeah, it's a little chilly, but you can't really ask for better weather to start the season.
It's perfect.
Austin.
It's perfect.
Jimenez looking for Ownby, flicked out of there by Comcia, but it'll stay with the visitors from Louisville. We say hello to the great fans for Louisville City FC, as we said earlier. Now the beautiful stadium, downtown Louisville. I understand it's close to bars and breweries and restaurants, and that's how you get her done.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, it's an amazing stadium in the Butchertown area of Louisville. $65 million. They, pulled out all the stops for that one, so I'm really excited to see that later in the season. I'm going to try to get out there, I think, for that one. Last game of the season.
It's pretty incredible, as former Duke star Kenny Lola, who's no longer the head coach at Louisville, but he was there when, for the University of Louisville, they built that incredible stadium. Same name on that stadium as on this one. So you talk about a company and a couple people that are dedicated to soccer. The Lynn family, huge.
Yeah, Lynn Family Stadium, and obviously they're going to be adding an NWSL team to the mix in 2021. So Louisville as a club, as a whole, really doing things right.
Ooh, Taylor goes in hard. This is going to be dangerous right here.
Yeah, and that's Ownby getting at DJ Taylor. DJ gets in a little bit late in a dangerous spot for a set piece.
You were at practice yesterday. What's the word on how they're going to handle set pieces defensively? Zone, or are they going to man up?
It looks like it's going to be more of a zone in a spot like this. But it's going to be good service now. McCabe, very good on set piece service. But yeah, the key is just staying organized. Holding your line as a team. It's tough when the ball's this deep.
Was a 3-man wall. Now Taylor's going to release as Spees and Smith 10 yards away from McCabe. McCabe has got some targets in there. Ownby and Lancaster. It'll go off that 2-man wall. McCabe will get a second opportunity at it. It'll go off the backside of Smith and right to Tambakis. So that was an effective 2-man wall.
Yeah, well done from Spees and Graham Smith there. Taking one for the team.
Almost halfway through the first half here of the opener for both teams. Dean Lincoln with Austin Duluth. And Austin, we'll get your take. Let's first talk about the visitors, the perennial power, Louisville City FC.
Yeah, I think, they started off ceding a little bit of possession in North Carolina FC. They had a couple half chances early on, but, since, probably the 7th, 8th minute, Louisville's really settled into their rhythm and had a lot of the ball. Haven't had any real clear-cut chances yet, but, yeah, some good possession, some good interplay.
Here's Taylor now over to Abadawi. Taylor has got Perez on his right. Good ball in, trying to find Miller. Can't get past that back line. Cristo The giant out there. You talk about Ben Lunt being big. Cristo is just massive.
Yeah, he's a handful.
All right, you covered Louisville City FC. We'll take a look at this attack here from North Carolina FC and then get your thoughts on the home team, Dave Sarakin's team.
Yeah, I thought it was a good start. You know, going pretty direct here for the first half of the first half, looking for Manny Perez in behind, and he's causing problems. Every time he's gotten in behind, he's made something happen, whether it's getting a corner kick out of it or, you know, sending a ball into the box. But I'd like to see North Carolina FC try to establish a little bit more possession. It's always difficult against a team like Louisville, but they're hanging in there. They've been organized, haven't given up anything too dangerous.
That's the second time the Oak City supporters thought it was a handball. In fact, it's the second time even the North Carolina FC players have indicated they thought perhaps it was a handball. Wasn't whistled as it stays with North Carolina FC, and that one goes over the head of DJ Taylor.
I understand, but I'm just relaying a message, okay?
Throw in for Louisville. I'm known to overuse sayings, but I do feel like DJ Taylor does remind me a little bit of DeAndre Yedlin. Obviously, DeAndre Yedlin has had massive success, but I do like the way Taylor gets up and down that right side.
Yeah, it's a piece of his game that he has been focusing on quite a bit, is getting into the attack and trying to get more assists. He's very good on the ball. He's obviously got a ton of pace. He's got a bright future ahead of him for sure. To have as many professional games under his belt as he does at his age is a good sign.
So come all the way back to Lunt and North Carolina FC. We'll wait for Lunt, and there he gets it out real quick. So Louisville City FC. Jimenez marked there by Manny Perez. Smith, Abadawi, quickly to Cristo. Crystal. We saw him slipping on this new side. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. See if there's any boot changes at halftime. What kind of boots would you wear with what could be described as perhaps a little bit of loose grass out there?
The cheapest kind.
That's awesome.
Studs were out of my price range.
26 minutes in. Duvernay and back off of Duvernay. A little bit unlucky right there. Top of the 18. Lancaster doesn't need a whole lot of space. Good defending at the moment. Back across again. Brotherton. Louisville starting to string some passes together at the moment. Pushing forward is Jimmy Ockford, as Austin DeLuz mentioned. New center back combination, at least to start the season for Coach Hackworth. This is good work here. Abadawi was in the middle of that with Spees. Crystal's going to drop it to Taylor. Manny Perez is waiting for it. Perez has Taylor making a run. He'll bring it back to Smith. Smith, another one of those unsung heroes who you just, if you watch him, you appreciate him.
Yeah, just really solid, sitting in front of the back four, breaking plays up and distributing to his teammates. Lots of dirty work from Graham Smith.
Brotherton. Here's Abadawi coming way back. Over the head of Cristo. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. We're 28 minutes in. Opening day of USL Championship. North Carolina FC, Louisville City FC, all zeros.
It's interesting to open up the 2020 season with the same game that opened the 2019 season. First game last year was North Carolina FC against Louisville here. ended in a 4-1 win for North Carolina FC, but it really wasn't a 4-1 game.
Yeah, Dave Sarakin told me that today. He's like, they weren't that dominant, but everything you hit went in.
Right, yeah. So, a lot of parallels to this game so far. A lot of Louisville possession, but North Carolina FC was very organized and limited the chances that they gave up, and just did a really good job of finishing the chances that we got.
Lancaster, no problem for Tambakis. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for North Carolina FC and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on North Carolina FC's next match. Go to ESPN.com and click follow for your club. North Carolina FC will be right back here on next Saturday for another 2:30 tilt. I kind of like these 2:30 tilts.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the rest of your day?
I'm headed to Pittsburgh, but hoping to catch a little bit of that North Carolina Duke game later tonight.
Yeah.
Heard about that?
I have heard, a couple things about it. It's hard not to around here.
Speaking of that, congratulations to you and your beautiful bride on some big baby news. That's big time. So break that down.
Yeah, here's Manny Perez again, going at Jimmy Ockford. Just a collision. Banging knees. Hopefully Manny can walk that one off. But yeah, appreciate the congratulations. One on the way.
Yeah, it's exciting. Speaking of exciting, Dave Sarakin's become a little bit of a social media superstar. He's pinging balls off the crossbar, and then yesterday his daughter and son surprised them with their spouses and kids, and that made the rounds in social media.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Great family. His wife Cherie, his son Ian, a great coach out at Creighton. But yeah, not bad hitting the crossbar, huh? And then the somersault.
Yeah, him and
just for the record. That was his his new catchphrase.
Just for the record.
Just for the record.
He and Coach Bradford, certainly the tie-in as well with Coach Bradford to North Carolina FC with Gary Bude, and arguably the biggest club in North America. You got to love how that's working out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about Louisville and how they're doing things right. North Carolina FC's checking a lot of those same boxes, providing that youth to pro pathway.
Manny Perez, sorry, Austin dancing with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, providing that youth to pro pathway and having the NWSL team, the Courage, have been, setting the standard around here for a couple of years now. But all good things from both these clubs, really pushing the game forward.
Brotherton, Duvernay, Smith now.
So a little bit better from North Carolina FC, moving it a little bit quicker, side to side, trying to find the seams to play through.
Smith.
Ooh, good idea. Good idea from Nazmi.
Yeah, not on the same page there with Spees, but a great idea.
Those are the type of balls, though, in between the lines that are going to unlock Louisville.
Well, you mentioned Ben Lunt. He played at Akron, but he was with FC Cincinnati, so he knows Nazmi Abadawi as they both spent time with FC Cincinnati a year ago.
Yeah, and by all accounts, it was a difficult situation in Cincinnati last year. I don't think a lot went right for them, but both good players have found their way to good situations here this season.
And here is Abadawi. Abadawi looking for somebody open. We'll bring it back to Brotherton. DJ Taylor. Spees. Duvernay, side of his foot, finds Cristo.
Yeah, it's good stuff from North Carolina FC. Good spell of possession, find Duvernay out wide, and he's able to put a good cross in to find Robbie Cristo, but he's just a little bit too far away from goal there. A header from the top of the 18 is always going to be a tough one to find the back of the net.
33rd minute, Wake Med Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina. home to North Carolina FC. Steve Malik, the owner, Kurt Johnson, president, general manager. Brotherton, picked up by Spees. Lancaster tracks back, gets rid of it. Ownby, Alex Camcia there first. Duvernay. Speedy Williams. Played back to Masoso. DJ Taylor. Austin, I haven't seen a ton of like unforced turnovers or just kind of weird plays that sometimes you see on opening day. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I think that speaks to the preparation of both these teams, both coming in ready to go.
How about Louisville's preseason prep? Pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different level in terms of preparation. They took a couple trips, one down to Tampa, got a couple games against MLS teams.
Ownby off of Brotherton. Back across. They weren't done in Tampa, though. They kept going.
Yeah, they went out to Utah, took part in the Wasatch Winter Cup, which they actually won. Got a few more games in there. So they've played about 7 or 8 games this preseason against some really quality competition.
Yeah, John Hackworth, high praise for his organization for allowing him to go out and play those games. Obviously outdoors in Tampa, but indoors on the other trip, but a ton of games. So I feel like that's reflected in what we're seeing from them today. As here's Manny Perez, and Perez just puts pressure on you as they got to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think another thing to keep an eye on as the game goes on is just fitness, right? Because first game of the season is always difficult.
Abadawi, it'll hold for Taylor. Abadawi will let it run out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina FC. This right side has been effective for North Carolina FC. It's been mostly Manny Perez, not a whole lot of Miller time as of yet.
Yeah, they've been looking for Manny, again, direct in behind. Like to see them work it over to the left side a little bit more and see Caleb Duvernay and Stephen Miller combine a little bit over there, balance things out.
Sliding tackle by Abadawi, cleaned up though by Corbin Bone, another veteran. And what's his take? I know you're really good friends with him on how much longer he wants to play.
I don't know. He's the type of guy that I think could play for 5 more years. He's one of my favorite players I've ever played with, to be honest. And I think a lot of people that have played with him would say the same. He's so talented on the ball. He's a joy to play with. He loves sharing the ball and combining. So I don't know. I hope he keeps playing. I just want to keep watching him.
Yeah, no kidding. In fact, if you remember so far in this game, I felt like he might have had the best opportunity, but he's so unselfish, he decided to give it one more touch.
Yeah.
There is Lancaster, who's not quite as unselfish as Bone. He's not afraid to hit from anywhere.
Yeah, and I don't think his teammates will have too much of a problem with that. When you're a Golden Boot winner, you can pull up from just about anywhere.
You can Steph Curry it.
Yeah.
That was a basketball reference, Austin.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Steph.
DJ Taylor with the throw-in. Smith. Stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look around USL Championship. Clearance not there. There's Miller. First throw opportunity. He went ahead and took a throw left foot at it. Lancaster does enough. Taylor going to try to deal with Ownby. Taylor, he is hard to get around. Low to the ground, solid.
Yeah, that's really well done there from DJ to protect the ball, get his body in between the ball and the attacker. Ownby forces the foul. Tell you what, I got a little bit of PTSD seeing Ownby out here on this field.
Really?
And ended my college career.
Did he really?
Yes, semifinals of the College Cup in 2009. UVA. Ownby scored the goal in overtime to win the game.
Yeah, that'll stick with you a little bit. Yeah.
He's a great guy, though, and obviously a really good player. Made a really, really good career for himself.
Of course, this field was where Wake Forest won the national championship against the Ohio State Buckeyes in 2007. Here's Taylor. Manny Perez. Those are one of those things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but Manny Perez earning a ton of throw-ins for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, he's just being a nuisance over here on this right side. So physically imposing, he's so quick. Just makes stuff happen.
Crystal's touch lets him down there. Louisville City FC trying to get out of being pinned in. They send it long. It'll stay with North Carolina FC, though. Quickly over is Spees. Spees to Abadawi's pushed from behind. It'll go out of bounds off of Louisville City FC. Now here's Taylor. They get it back to Abadawi. Abadawi, good ball, Crystal! Oh my! How did that not go in? Crystal thought it did. What a ball from Abadawi, trying to find Crystal far post.
I'll tell you what, that is world-class start to finish, from the cross to the header to the save.
I feel like Crystal thought maybe the ball had passed in the air just based on his reaction. We'll get another look at it, but right now North Carolina FC going to try to make it 1-0 even before we take a look at that header from Cristo. Miller looking to send it into Cristo. Cleared out of there by Williams. Duvernay. A lot of action right now for the home team. There's Smith with the cleanup. And after all of that, though, Louisville City FC going the other way. Numbers aren't terrible. It's 4-on-5 at the moment. They give it back to Ownby. Ownby! Right back to Tambakis. And it looks like he's saying he may have lost it in the sun. Now here's Manny Perez. Manny Perez! Ooh! Look at Manny Perez as Jimenez might get a card for that as they try to find Cristo to be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, and here we see the cross in. Really unbelievable cross. Great header from Robbie Cristo, and that is a fantastic save from Lunt. Tips it off the crossbar to keep it out. Off the crossbar. He ends up in the back of the net, but the ball doesn't.
Did it hit underneath the crossbar?
Yeah, I mean, you could see Cristo was trying to make the case that the ball actually went in, but I don't think it was over the line. I think Lunt kept it out.
It's interesting though, because I don't think it went in either.
Yeah.
But watch this. I think it hits under, so it's saved. Now watch it. I don't think it hits the base of the crossbar, but rather under it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that not go in? It doesn't. It comes right back out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think Cristo might be trying to make the case that the ball was over the line and Lunt pulled it back out. But
oh, you know what? Based on where his hand is and how that comes back out,
right.
You might have a point right there.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to say. It didn't look like it to me that it got all the way over the line. But what a ball from Nazmi Abadawi.
On a dime.
Just driven cross, and Robbie Cristo did such a good job to pull off the back shoulder of the center back. And just fading away, he gets his head on it.
There's the, yeah, I don't think it did cross, actually.
That might be save of the week right there.
Wow. Might see that next Saturday on the broadcast with USL Championship. They do such a great job, USL Productions. Speaking of great job, Kyle Lang and his crew gave us multiple looks right there at that. We were dying to see it, and we got like 10 great looks at it right there, AD.
Yeah, it was a good one. That was a good one. Good chance, and the game's livened up here in the last 5 minutes, right?
It really has. And part of the reason is this guy as well, number 2, Manny Perez, who Jimenez, the way he lunged at Manny Perez, right?
Yeah, that's what Manny makes you do. He gets behind you, And you've got to make a choice, right? You either take the foul or you let him go. And in that case, Jimenez tried to take the foul, but he didn't get enough of him, and Manny was off to the races.
We obviously have a little better view of it, but to me, that attempt, although failing, deserved a card because he was trying to clip him from behind.
Yeah, I think that's the fourth official's job. He's standing right there. If he had gotten a little bit more of them, they probably would have pulled it back.
It was kind of a lucky miss. This is dangerous here. Lancaster's got 4 blue jerseys around him. Look at this guy go. He is relentless. Now they finally say a whistle against Lancaster. He had 4 blue jerseys and still looked dangerous.
Yeah. It's good interplay there from McCabe and McMahon on that right side to find Lancaster inside the box, and just couldn't find the space to get a shot off. North Carolina FC did a good job closing him down.
44th minute. Tambakis. Cristo. Far side stands, lower level, starting to fill in a little bit more. Fairly standard as you work your way into May, you start seeing the crowds build up here. North Carolina FC. There's a lot going on right now. We already mentioned that Duke North Carolina game, as there's multiple sports going on, a lot of different entertainment options, and of course we wish everybody well as that coronavirus fear is also out there as Perez sends it in. And is he earned another corner kick? The guy is a corner kick machine. Corner kick North Carolina FC.
Yep. I think you're going to see this all season from North Carolina FC when Robbie Cristo's on the field, just driven balls, trying to find his head.
That's a good shot right there, and how big Lunt is, because he actually makes Cristo look small.
That's true. I didn't realize it until they were standing next to each other.
Driven in. Lunt was a little bit in no man's land right there, as it'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina FC. We'll have just 1 minute of added time, and we've already started that added time. Oh, so close for Cristo. Great service from Abadawi, but great save by Ben Lunt to keep this one at zeros. Stephen Miller. And whistle will be called against Smith and North Carolina FC. With 15 seconds remaining, perhaps Louisville City FC is okay with running this one in.
Yeah, I think both teams will be okay with getting into the locker room at 0-0.
And there is the whistle. Austin Deleuze, your thoughts on the first 45 as we're tied at zeros?
A good first half for both teams, I think. I think they went back and forth a little bit. Both had their fair share of possession, and obviously North Carolina FC finished the half there with the best chance of the game from Robbie Cristo's header. But two good teams doing what they do, and you know, whoever finds that next good chance is going to look to convert and try to keep the clean sheet.
All right, we'll come back. We'll take a look around the USL Championship. Through 45, opening day, North Carolina FC 0, Louisville.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year. I might get to go.
Cool.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina. It's North Carolina FC and Louisville City FC. We're tied at zeros. Dean Linke with Austin Deleuze, as we're delighted to be with you here for USL Championship action. And Austin Deleuze, after a great career, decided to hang up the boots and join me up here and just talk about what these athletes are going through, knowing it's the first game of the season.
Yeah, the offseason's long, right? It's, several months of just preparation and nerves building up, and it all kind of culminates in this day, the home opener for North Carolina FC and obviously Louisville City opening up on the road. But you just want to settle those nerves as quick as you can, right? You want to get into your rhythm. You want to do what you do as a team, get back to what you've been training over the course of the preseason. So both teams, I think, did a good job of doing that in this first half.
When you woke up this morning, any thoughts about, man, I wish I was playing?
Yeah, I almost packed my cleats, actually, just to see if I could sign a contract on the way in. No, I feel good about where I'm at. I feel good about being up here with you, and I'm having fun watching. It's good to be a fan.
Also, you got to feel good about Manny Perez. I thought he was the best player on the field to start.
Yeah, definitely the most dangerous player on the field for those first 45 minutes. He's causing all kinds of problems on the right side, getting in behind Oscar Jimenez and serving some really dangerous balls into the box. I think they're just going to keep doing it as long as it's working, keep finding him in behind.
All right, another great season underway for USL Championship. I mentioned earlier the great work that USL Productions do. Let's take a look as we start another campaign right here.
Come on, come on. Nice and tight here. Bring it in tighter. Nice and tight.
Everything we do matters. Very few people in the world ever get an opportunity like this.
We talked about making history, right? And what are you going to do to change history? When it's your turn to make a tackle, are you going to make that tackle? Are you going to score the goal? Are you going to make the save and throw a few miracles for us? Grab your freaking moments. That's my point.
Huge credit to every one of you. Massive performance coming on, the way that you press, and please for every one of you.
This is an awesome time, and we're going to show them that we're for real. We are for real because we all believe in each other, right? This is our moment. This is our moment to shine.
Every single day, guys, we have to fight to create our identity.
Take your moment within the games and make them your moments. Let's go out there and kick. Come on. Go, 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 go. 1, 2, 3.
Two U.S. men's national team legends are set to square off as Landon Donovan leads San Diego Loyal SC into their inaugural USL Championship match against Eric Winalda and the Las Vegas Lights. In front of a raucous crowd at Torero Stadium, it's Donovan versus Winalda, this time from the sidelines, as the USL Championship returns to ESPN Networks. Don't miss out. The 2020 championship season kicks off Saturday, March 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kelsey Steele, Scott Stewart here from USL HQ in beautiful Tampa, Florida. How better to get this season going than laying out our top signings
to get a more advanced position on the field.
Sit in. It's Jimmy Oxford!
Himself from attacking the back four, gets that chance to bury him. That gives Earl Edwards Jr. absolutely no chance. Why? Because it's in the top corner. You're never going to have a chance. It's over the wall. It's the perfect.
Popped up more with the left.
Oh!
More with the second goal. He now has a brace.
Look at the touch there. That's Soler. Great ball over the top by Wehan. And then how about the shot here?
Welcome back here to WakeMed Soccer Park. The youngsters having a good time here, particularly in the bright sun. Beautiful day to kick off the 2020 campaign of USL Championship. And we welcome you back upstairs alongside Austin Deleuze. I'm Dean Linke. Great to see those highlights. It gets you pumped up. This league, USL Championship, a really great league.
Yeah, it's come a long way in a short amount of time. Added some really quality franchises and some teams that are really pushing the envelope as far as second division in the United States. 2 teams here today that are doing that, and it's just an exciting thing to be a part of.
We're lucky to have Brian Ware. He does such a great job doing research on USL Championship as we see 35 teams. Remember, Nashville got promoted. Ottawa moved to Miami. So 35 teams as we try to find a champion, a place where Louisville always seems to find themselves. How about this game here? Landon Donovan and Eric Winalda on ESPN News.
Yeah, I don't know. If you told me that those two would be facing off in a USL game as coaches 5 years ago, I don't know if I would have believed you, but really cool to see. San Diego Loyal coming into the league this year, really exciting. Landon's such an interesting guy. You know, he's a thoughtful guy. I don't know if you saw his first team talk they posted on YouTube. Really cool to see him in coach mode, so I'm excited to see how that goes.
I wonder if he'll do what Tim Howard's doing, and that is return to the field. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
How about Tim Howard? I think he's going to start.
Yeah, he got the itch. You know, he's got to get back on the field, and it's cool. It's great for the league. I think it'll be cool to see him play at this level and see what he can do in terms of leading that team both on and off the field.
Minority owner and now in goal, and saying that the love of the game is still there as we take a look already underway. New York Red Bulls and Tampa Bay, and you see Memphis and Martin Rennie, who's got ties to this club with Indy 11. They've reloaded as well. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, they're going to be up there at the top of the table just like they were last year. A lot of talent on that team. It's going to be tough to get on the field for a lot of really talented players on that roster.
You mentioned the field. North Carolina FC will be right back here at WakeMed Soccer Park next Saturday to take on Philadelphia Union 2 at 2:30. Most of the home games here for North Carolina FC are at 7 o'clock, including that April 3rd matchup against Charlotte.
Yeah, that's always a fun one, right? Charlotte Independence coming into town. It's been a while since they've won against North Carolina FC, so you know, always a little bit of animosity between those two. It's going to be a fun one for sure.
All right, we'll take a look at the schedule for Louisville City FC. They got that wonderful new stadium that everybody's looking forward to see. They start the season with 4 games on the road, but how about April 11th against Birmingham, 7 o'clock? They'll be at home.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an event. You know, opening up Lynn Family Stadium like we talked about earlier, $65 million investment from the club to bring that to Louisville, and I think it's really going to take the club to new heights, and you know that game against Birmingham is going to be rocking for sure.
I feel like North Carolina FC fans need to keep their eyes on that, because who knows, you think about that Downtown South project, that could be a perfect role model for future things for this club right here. Good time for a bite in the stands. We'll step aside and come back with more. It's halftime. North Carolina FC 0, Louisville City FC 0. Stay with us.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. Back in the swing of things. Back in the groove. WakeMed Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Glad to be with you in Cary, North Carolina. You see the Oak City supporters. They're looking for a goal. Both these teams looking for a goal. It's zeros through 45 alongside the great Austin Blues. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you for opening day USL Championship action. Nice crowd settled in here on this Saturday afternoon. This game and next week's game, 2:30 starts, as part of the reason is weather and everything going on. I like that decision. And let's take a look at the first half highlights here. No goals, but some good opportunities.
Yeah, we see a half chance here early from Nazmi Al-Badawi. Can't get it through the traffic. And Ownby was a nuisance for Louisville City. There's Lancaster getting his head on it, a little bit wide. And here's Manny Perez. Again, just causing problems. Ockford's got to haul him down there. No foul called. I'm okay with that one. And there's Manny again, just riding tackles, finding space in behind, and looking for that ball in behind the back line. Doesn't quite find it there. And here's a set piece from McCabe. I think this one finds the wall. Spees and Smith standing strong in there. A lot of half chances early in the game, but here's the big chance. Nazmi Al-Badawi to Robbie Christo, and a really just top-class save from Ben Lunt to keep that one out.
Yeah, the big paw of Lunt. It went under the crossbar, not in front of it, but under, and somehow came back out the other way.
Yeah.
And how anything stand out right there? Pretty even game.
Yeah, pretty even. And again, Louisville with a little bit of an advantage in possession. I think that's to be expected with the style that they play, but even in shots and shots on goal. Really back and forth half. It was a good one. We finished strong there, and hopefully we keep that momentum going into the second half.
The moment just zeros. Before we get started, I do want to tell you that the USL Championship returns to ESPN networks in iconic fashion tonight as two U.S. soccer legends collide with Landon Donovan and 2020 newcomers San Diego Loyal SC hosts Eric Winalda and the Las Vegas Lights FC, as we told you at halftime. That is tonight on ESPN News. Back out on the field, as it looks like there's going to be a change. Go ahead and break down the change for Louisville.
Yeah,
Austin.
Interesting change. It looks like Coach Hackworth might have been a little bit concerned with the amount of success that Manny Perez was having on that right side, so he's brought in Akil Watts into that left back spot. He's brought off Oscar Jimenez.
Well, I felt like we had a point-blank view of Jimenez trying to deal with Manny Perez, right?
Yeah, so maybe he thinks that Watts matches up a little bit better with Manny Perez over on that side.
All right, how about that? To start the second half, certainly Hackworth saw what we saw, as here's Spees now over to Miller. Miller trying to send it back to Christo. And cleared out of there by McMahon. Duvernay takes the throw in from Miller. What's Caleb Duvernay like off the field?
He's quiet. He's very quiet. He's a funny guy. When he does speak up, it's always good humored, but a good locker room guy. Works really hard. It's just steady.
Big opportunity for him this year.
Yeah, it is. It is, and he's come a long way since his days at NC State. He got drafted out of college, out to Seattle. Didn't end up getting signed there, and actually took a year off, but ended up back here, and he's looking to take this opportunity.
Second half underway, as it'll go out of bounds. No, they'll say off of Brotherton. It'll be a corner kick, Louisville City FC.
Caleb was drafted by Portland, actually. Sorry, I was incorrect about that.
First turnover of the game for Austin Deleuze.
You got to be honest about these things, you know?
47th minute, you're fine.
Don't want to put out misinformation.
Yeah. Good double check. Driven in, corner kick, dangerous. And we go back out of bounds. A corner kick the other way now for Louisville City FC.
Yeah, that was a really good ball in from Corbin Bone. Dropped right in the 6. You always hate to see that when you're defending a corner. You don't want to see that ball hit the ground and inside your own 6.
Driven in, looking for Ombi, and that'll come back to Tambakis. Before the game, your biggest fans from Oak City supporters were talking about 3 important items, and at number 2, well, they had you right there at number 2, but then at number 3, they talked about Dave Sarakin. They called him one of the sharpest dressed coaches. I don't know about all that, but he is looking pretty good down there with the white shoes and the coat. He's got some style.
He's always looking dapper. The USL actually did a competition last year for best dressed coach in the league, and Dave was up there. He was a nominee.
There you go.
What are you watching there?
Quick throw in. Crystal pushed off the ball. He's got to win those.
You'd expect him to, yeah. I think, you know, when you play into Robbie, you expect him to hold it up. It's not always easy as a big man. You attract a lot of attention. So I feel for him sometimes, but.
Louisville City FC in white from head to toe. North Carolina FC in their home blues. Dreamville Festival on the front of the jerseys, and as Austin said, they've already sold a ton. Very trendy, and not just in this market, but it's such a big name, the Dreamville brand with J. Cole, that they're selling all over the country.
Yeah, definitely. It's nationally recognized. You know, really, it's a hot ticket in town. You know, those tickets to Dreamville Festival are always hard to come by. Might actually get to go this year since I'm not going to be on the road or have a game.
They bomb it long, try to find Lancaster. Brotherton, good communication there. You can see him calling off Alex. Those center backs talk a lot back there, don't they?
Yeah, really good communication between those two. They've built a good relationship over the course of the 2019 season, and just looking to carry that on this year. It's difficult when your center backs are so young. You know, you'd like to have one that's a little bit more experienced, a little bit older, but to their credit, they've really, you know, taken these spots and held on to them.
Yeah, with all due respect to our fellow center backs, over the years that had been a problem defensively for North Carolina FC. We had given up some soft goals. We'd given up soft goals late, Austin Duluth, when it looked like you had 3. Next thing you know, you got 1. And a couple times you had none. And that's really a backbreaker.
Yeah, I think it was priority number 1 for Dave and his coaching staff coming in last year was to just give up fewer goals and be harder to play against. And I think we did that last year, and obviously looking to continue improving this season.
Lancaster thought maybe it was a step offside. Cristo again slips. Cristo has slipped more than anyone out there.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you're tall, right? You get your center of gravity is a little bit higher.
Speedy Williams. Duvernay will knock it out of bounds. Safety first. Throw in back to Louisville. Lancaster. McMahon, good touch. McMahon's in. McMahon back across. Taylor does well to head it before Ombi can get there.
Good positioning there from DJ to intercept the cross, because Ombi was lurking on the back post.
Louisville electing to go backwards in order to go forwards. They'll reset. Walking you up to minute 52. Still no score. Louisville and North Carolina. That one got over the head of Brotherton. Served in by McCabe, the man from Ireland. You like his qualities, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of McCabe's. He's a guy that's been here since the start. You know, he's been sort of the club's talisman over the years. Just unbelievably consistent. Always dangerous in those attacking midfield areas.
Here he is again on it. McCabe keeps it down on the grass. Lancaster will drop it. Bone! Tricky shot, but over the crossbar.
Yeah, that's Corbin right there. Looking for cheeky plays like that. You can see he picks it up here off of Lancaster and thinks maybe Alex Tambakis is off his line a little bit, looking for the chip. I think Alex would have had that one covered, but got to give him credit for the attempt, right?
Absolutely. So Corbin Bone from Texas. Did you guys connect pre-Wake Forest as well out there? Because you spent some time in Texas too, right?
Yeah, no, we never connected in Texas, but we're fast friends in college at Wake Forest. And like I said, just an absolute pleasure to play with. I wish I could have had a few more years with him.
Ownby doing what he did in the first half, running everywhere to help the Louisville City FC offense. There's Miller. See if we see more of Miller here in the second half. There's always the game within a game, and John Hackworth with the first move of his chess pieces, making that switch as Tambakis has it. It's hard to argue with the change from Hackworth.
Yeah, I mean, Manny Perez was just finding so much joy down that right side that I think as a coach, that's just something you've got to adjust to. And some coaches would wait a little bit longer, I think, and give it a few more minutes in the second half to see if it evens out. But Coach Hackworth wasted no time and got Akil Watts on the field on that left side.
The subs and the coaches are kind of like us. It's a little bit colder. You're not in the sun. It's a little chilly. And all of the, well, look, Dave's still hanging out in the sun with those fancy white shoes. Dave Sarakin. Here's Manny Perez. Good ball back to Spees. Spees gets his head up, sends it. He was thinking Cristo, I believe. I will say Miller was open.
Yeah, he got caught in between a little bit there. It almost looked like he couldn't decide between Cristo and Miller. And just got cut out at the near post, but Steven was wide open. If Spees had dragged that one back towards the penalty spot.
55 minutes in. Watts, who came on, hometown Fort Wayne, Indiana. We'll see what Akil Watts can do to contain number 2, Manny Perez. That'll roll out of bounds. Duvernay will take his time and.
Yeah, good look here. Manny slips a nice ball into Ben Spees and takes a good first touch, but again, just can't quite pick anyone out in the box there.
Duvernay over the head of Cristo. Stay up to date with news and highlights from across the USL Championship and League One by downloading the official league app today. Search United Soccer Leagues in the App Store or in Google Play and download today to enjoy news, giveaways, competitions, and more. The USL app. Louisville City FC. This is a great ball. Obi turns on it. Tambakis protecting the near post. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Louisville.
That's good work from Ownby again, working his way in behind the back line. Got that inside out run. And ultimately a comfortable save for Alex Tambakis at the near post. But Ownby always dangerous, running in between those lines.
I just always like his decision making. He knew he didn't need to take another touch on it. It was ready to fire, and he did. And Tambakis parries it away. It's a corner kick. And it'll be a whistle against Louisville City. It'll come back to Tambakis and North Carolina FC. The Oak City supporters behind them. Austin Deleuze, you have been their favorite since they've created themselves as Oak City supporters. What makes that group so special?
Yeah, they're just committed. You know, they're always here, no matter the weather, no matter the day, time, whatever it is. They're always here supporting. It's been awesome to see them grow as well since they established themselves. The group has grown quite a bit. You know, I don't think we would have seen 2 sections filled up there over, you know, the last 3 years. But they're here now. We got the Renegados there as well, the Renegade supporters. Building a good supporters culture here.
Think about great cultures. The crowds at Louisville over the years, right through the championship games, for what you can cause electric atmospheres, as Lancaster hits that one into the Oak City supporters You got to give the fans in Louisville a whole lot of credit.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why you see them building that stadium, right? If they didn't have that fan base there, I don't think they'd be making the investment to put a brand new stadium in downtown Louisville. So you got to credit the supporters for what they've done over the last few years. Obviously, it's easy to cheer for a team that wins all the time, but fantastic crowd there every time we've played.
Yeah, as Austin told you in the first half, 2015 and 16, they're in the conference finals. 17, they're the league champs. They repeat, and they almost went for the three-peat. They were that close.
Yeah, the final last year was a heartbreaker for them. Obviously, being at home, you'd hope to win, but a really good Real Monarchs team from the Western Conference took home the championship last year.
Brotherton knocked to the ground. It'll come back to North Carolina FC.
North Carolina FC returning to second stage of West Park next Saturday.
As you hear Mark Calloway, the great PA announcer who has been here close to 14 years, talking about next Saturday's game against Philadelphia 2, formerly Bethlehem Steel. That'll be at 2:30 as well.
$2 beers for that one. Come on out.
That's hard to beat.
$2 beers, cheap tickets too. I think they said $3 tickets.
Wow.
For a limited time.
Yeah, let's pack this place next Saturday as Cristo will knock it out of bounds. Miller knocked to the ground. Miller, who broke his nose for the second time a year ago and had to have surgery again.
I think it's been more than 2.
Really?
Based on how it looks.
He, like you, big news, got engaged in the offseason.
Yeah, but that speaks to the type of player he is, doesn't it? A couple broken noses. He's not afraid to get stuck in, put his body on the line for the team.
Yeah, he's Philly tough. Westchester, PA, they grow him tough up there.
Yeah. Not afraid to tell you about it either.
Come on. There's a little subtle. Own B. There's Abadawi.
Uh-oh. Off to the races here.
Abadawi trying to pop it to Perez.
Just a little bit long.
Yeah, one of my favorite things from this spot over the last 14 years, I got to admit, not to be sycophantic, but having you right down here in front of the North Carolina FC bench, grab one and then pinging it all the way over there to the far side. You could do it so well, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better feeling as a midfielder picking up the ball in that area with that kind of space and seeing a guy like Manny Perez just take off running.
Nasby, Abadawi. Good ball to Cristo, and Cristo too much jersey that time, and that's a good call.
Yeah, he looked like he had a couple handfuls of West Sharpie there in the box. Another good floated ball in from Nazmi Abadawi, looking for Cristo floating into that back post.
Of course, you heard us talk about Abadawi's story. His mother and dad went through so much to get their family over here, and Nazmi Abadawi able to grow up here in this area. He struggled to get at the highest level club and kept working at it. As you see a couple step overs coming from Ownby. Little turn, and oh my, Tambakis didn't even try. And if you're wondering what it looks like to be almost 1-0, that was almost 1-0 right there.
Yeah, Cameron Lancaster, that's what he does. He finds a little bit of space at the top of the box and just finds a way to get that ball on goal. It didn't have a ton of pace, but it went through traffic, and Alex Tambakis didn't know much about it.
He was frozen, didn't move. Little touch here by McMahon. It'll be a corner kick. See if we can take a look at this last opportunity.
Yeah, so a broken play a little bit, but Lancaster ends up with it. He just turns and fires. It comes through, I think that was Sam Brotherton's legs, and just rolls off the post.
Wow. So I guess all is love and fair and crossbar and post, right? A crossbar for Cristo and a post for Lancaster.
We're even now.
There you go. Here's a shot. Deflected out of there. That was hit with pace by Speedy Williams. Now headed back by Cristo. It'll go out of bounds and stay with Louisville. What an opportunity from Lancaster. It actually on replay had a little more pace than I thought. It just looked like Tambakis was stuck in mud the first time, but a little more pace than I originally thought from Lancaster on that shot.
Yeah, that and it coming through traffic always makes it difficult for goalkeepers.
It's still loose, and it's in. Louisville has scored. They stay with it. North Carolina FC appeared to stop what they were doing for a moment, and Louisville City FC has made it 1-0.
Yeah, Cameron Lancaster again. There's appeals for offsides there. Another broken play that Lancaster ends up on the end of. You can see here a couple tackles, and there's Speedy Williams fires a shot, and Lancaster gets the rebound and just slots it home at the near post. Right place, right time. That's what goal scorers do. Tough to tell if he's offside when Speedy Williams hits that shot. But Lancaster will take it. He's on the board. His 2020 is off to a good start.
Boy, John Hackworth was so fired up to tell us about Lancaster being back on the team. And he was part of the first team at Louisville City back in 2015, was with the club until he signed a deal with Nashville and their MLS franchise. Breakout star for Louisville during the 18 USL Championship title run. And here he goes again. In 2017, Lancaster scored 8 goals in just 24 games for the title winners. He averaged a goal every 134 minutes that season, and he's got a goal less than 65 minutes into this one.
Yeah, we said it before the game. He's a big-time player. He's back after a up-and-down year in Nashville. Didn't quite fit into what they were doing last year, I don't think, but I'm sure he's happy to be back here, back at home, for what's going to be his 5th full season with the club. Again, that continuity is just incredible. North Carolina FC's made their first change of the game as well, with Manny Perez actually coming off, and Haji Berry slides in. They've pushed Stephen Miller over to the right side, and Haji Berry's gonna operate over here on this left wing.
Yeah, so Haji Berry, they were wondering if he would be more comfortable at a 9, but Dave Sarakin telling us he really likes him out on a wing.
Yeah, here we get another look at this foul here. Sam Brotherton just sliding in. But yeah, Haji Berry, I think that's one of his biggest assets is his versatility. He can play anywhere along that front line.
Good ball in, dangerous. How did Ombi even get his head to that?
Yeah, it looked like he was
flying.
Had his back to the goal and still ended up getting his head on it.
Dave Sarakin pretty animated at the moment. He's fired up.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a response here from the guys. Going down a goal at home in the first game of the season, you want to see a reaction.
Going back to that goal, so Louisville had a player go down, right? And he was kind of sitting in the 18, and it just kind of felt like some of the North Carolina FC players, with that player sitting down in the 18, they almost took the play off, and it still stayed on. I guess there was question on where Lancaster was, but it wasn't clear to me that he was offside.
No, from the video, you know, no clear offside for me either. But he just stayed tuned in. He picks up the ball and slots it home like good strikers do.
Miller, good touch. Taylor. It'll be a throw in for North Carolina FC. They're down a goal here at home. Opening game 2020 campaign USL Championship. Louisville City FC in town. Different story this year. Last year, as Austin Duluth told you, it was a 4-1 win in Dave Sarakin's debut.
Yeah, this one's going a little differently.
So Barry out there, excited to see him. I must admit I'm a little disappointed to not see Manny Perez go a little longer.
Yeah, maybe just being a little bit cautious with him after a up and down last year with injuries. But I think also Dave really likes what he sees from Haji Berry throughout the preseason and wanted to find a way to get him on the field.
So Barry's out there. Duvernay. Barry was calling for it. And Duvernay dribbles himself into trouble. Picked back up there by Abadawi. Abadawi. His engine looks sharp though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's looked good. He's served some really good balls into the box, and I think they need to find him even more than they have been. Try to create a little bit more. I think another change we might be seeing here pretty soon is Dre Fortune getting into the mix.
Turnover. And this is not a guy you want to give it to with a whole lot of grass in front of him. Ownby's on it. Ownby. He'll check it back to Bone. Now it'll find the feet of Masaso. And this is McMahon. 1-0 Louisville City FC. Lancaster back for Louisville and doing what he does. He's got the only goal of the game.
Yeah, and that's gonna feel really good for him again after a little bit more of a difficult year last year. To come in first game of the season and get on the score sheet is exactly what you want from a guy like him.
I want to thank Jorge Acuna, the director of broadcasting for North Carolina FC. Mr. VP. I just got the wave off for the director. He's a VP AD.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much. I think it's starting to go to his head.
1-0 Louisville on top. Sam Brotherton. Brotherton switching jerseys. Alex Kamsia changing numbers. Abadawi getting his 10 back, and Spees switching to 17. Robbie Cristo also changing numbers. One number you won't see out there is number 6.
Yeah, it's in the rafters.
We're 70 minutes in here, 20 minutes. Don't forget, folks, to check out that game on ESPN News tonight. Landon Donovan against Eric Winalda as two head coaches. I mean, at one point, Eric Winalda was, I believe, the leader in goals scored for the USA. And, of course, Landon Donovan cleared him, and now they're going to be sitting on the bench coaching two USL teams.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome, though. It's great for the game to have two guys like that with such a history in the sport in this country to stay involved, especially at the this second division level, continue to grow the sport from the bottom up.
Throw in for Duvernay. He'll bring it back to Smith.
Tell you what, that San Diego team's gonna be playing at Torero Stadium at University of San Diego. Might see an old Tony DeLuise jersey in the rafters out there.
There you go. Tony DeLuise, the longtime head coach of the Wake Forest women's soccer team. Duvernay. Duvernay rips it from McMahon. Duvernay had Barry. Likes to go to Cristo.
Yeah, tough ball in from Caleb there to Cristo. Really tight, not a lot of space to work with.
Second ball by Smith. Now McMahon. Ownby. Ownby's a handful.
He is, yeah. He always has been. Just constantly moving all over the field, trying to find space in between lines, in behind the back line.
Bone. Ownby. Those feet, as you said, always moving. DJ Taylor's got some space. Numbers aren't bad here. North Carolina FC's got to get something going. That's better work from Cristo. Good check back. Now Spees is going to find Barry. Barry now. Cristo was open for a second. Now Barry. Good ball, Miller. I thought maybe Miller was just going to try to fly onto it and paint it.
Yeah, it almost looked like he changed his mind at the last minute there. He was winding up like he was going to hit that first time, and then tried to take a touch, and the touch let him down a little bit.
So Austin Deleuze already told you to expect Dre Fortune, and Dre Fortune has taken his penny off. He is going to check in the next opportunity. Dave Sarakin with some final words for him. But we'll see Dre Fortune, a breakout year last year. So much confidence, and he had a pretty good little shimmy after some of those goals as well.
He loves a dance.
Here's Miller. Good tackle by Miller to keep it in bounds. Abadawi. Barry. He's got some great size. Pretty good feet, it looks like. Spees. Who do you think Fortune's going to come in for?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
It's your Tony Romo moment.
I think there's a lot of options. I could see him coming for Spees. I could see him coming for Christo and moving Haji Berry up high.
Yeah, I was guessing Spees. But as I was saying that, I kind of wish that there was a Robbie Christo to come off the bench for Robbie Christo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a different role for him this year, obviously. So you got to wonder who's going to be the one this year to come off the bench and change the game the way that Robbie Christo did last season. But that's two pretty straightforward attacking subs for North Carolina FC here as they chase the game.
Daniele Proc, the Italian who had a nice run for the Duke Blue Devils. And John Kerr. Yeah, it is Ben Spees. So Fortune will come on for Ben Spees. And Fortune, pinball machine-like numbers at that midfield position. A lot of times kind of deep midfield as well, but that guy can hit it from anywhere.
Yeah, he's ultra talented player, and I think the issue with Dre is just going to be consistency this year. Can he do it for longer stretches? Because we saw what he was capable of last year. Scored some unbelievable goals. Just a really, really good passer. Technically one of the best players on this roster. Can he do it for longer stretches this year? Can he take hold of that position and be a go-to guy?
Alongside Austin Deleuze, Dean Linke with you. Louisville City FC with that 1-0 lead. Number 17, Cameron Lancaster with the only goal, as he picked right up where he left off during his previous stint with Louisville. He's going to, you can mark it down, he's going to be double-digit goals again this year.
Yeah, I think that's safe money if you want to put any down.
And here's a guy that you talked about, those 10 players that have been part of the heartbeat of this Louisville program, and the guy getting ready to check in. Looks like Omby's going to come out, but when you think about Paulo Del Piccolo, that guy's been with the team a long time.
Yeah, he's Louisville through and through. He went to the University of Louisville and came into this club in 2016. He's been a mainstay ever since. He's one of 3 players that took over coaching duties in between James O'Connor and John Hackworth. And again, it's just remarkable the trust that they have in these players. I'm not sure you'd find many places around the world that would trust their players to man the ship for a month, like Luke Spencer, Paulo Del Piccolo, and George Davis did.
Yeah, that's amazing. And now even James is back with the club.
Yeah, James O'Connor back as an executive vice president of development. A good role for him. He's going to do a little bit of work with Proof Louisville, who's the NWSL team, and do a little bit of work building out their academy structure.
Miller trying to do a little work, bumped off though by Louisville City FC, and now we're in minute 77. It's 1-0. This game's going to open up more as North Carolina FC going to try to protect their home turf. They're going to have to take some chances, but this is a tough team to take chances against because they will make you pay.
Yeah, absolutely. North Carolina FC needs to show a little bit of urgency here, and like you said, they're going to get stretched. So it's going to be up to Sam Brotherton and Alex Comcia to kind of keep that back line organized as they start throwing more numbers forward.
Here is Comcia. He'll get it to Taylor. We're walking you up to minute 78. Taylor, lofted ball, trying to find Barry, and Barry will have it. They'll give Duvernay. Now Fortune. Fortune and Abadawi. Kamsia. The defensive shape of this Louisville team is pretty compact and tight.
Yep, very organized, difficult to play through. Getting good pressure on the ball when they need to. Not letting anything through.
Duvernay. Fortune. Abadawi. Duvernay's in. Crosses.
That's good play. Really good play.
It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, Dre Fortune getting involved with Nazmi Abadawi there. Good combination. You can see here Caleb Duvernay on the left. He plays it in. Nice little touch from Dre Fortune. Nazmi Abadawi slips Caleb Duvernay on the outside, and the last final ball not quite there.
Dre Fortune. See what he can do to serve one up. Keep an eye on number 11 with the crazy haircut, Robbie Christo. Brotherton also very dangerous on corner kicks. Fortune. Christo just missed it. Miller kept alive. Referee's going to let him play. Miller stays with it. Miller, Fortune. He was calling for it the entire time. Did well to still hang with it. Fortune. Look at the qualities. Dre Fortune in. Abadawi. Miller. Good tackle. Good non-call throw in North Carolina FC.
Yeah, good combination play again between Dre Fortune and Nazmi Abadawi. Speedy Williams there to clean things up before it gets too dangerous.
Fortune, I will say this, and I think you know what I mean, because you playing in this league, you saw the youngsters come in, you train with the academy players. I feel like Fortune is turning into a man, if you know what I mean. He's starting to look like a man out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that, I think, last year. That progression really started where, you know, he went from being a talented youngster to a guy that we felt like we could count on, and a guy that was going to lift us up when we needed him to. And he did that in spots last year, and I've talked to him about it since he came back. He went to preseason with an MLS club for a little bit, took a shot, and it didn't work out. But he came back here, and he's got a good attitude. He's ready to go after it this year here at North Carolina FC.
'80th minute. Austin, walk me through the mentality. You're here at home. It's the home opener. You know what it means to protect the home turf. I talked about it earlier. 80 minutes. There's still a lot of time. A lot of times fans and even broadcasters are like, man, there's only 10 minutes, but plenty of time. Just talk about that mentality, though, because you're a little bit desperate right here. You want to get a point.
Yeah, you do. It's, again, your home opener, right? It's the first game of the season. You want to start off on the right foot. But all of that, you know, is sort of battling against your lack of fitness. You know, it's the first game of the season, and I don't think either team's starting 11 has played a full 90 minutes in the preseason. So that lack of fitness is going to come into play. But, yeah, you want to see some urgency here for the last 10 minutes. You want to see them chase it a little bit.
Turnover. It'll come back to Louisville City FC. Dished out to Masoso. He wants to get it back. It'll go off of Duvernay, and it will be a corner kick. Corner kick, Louisville City FC. We're now in minute 82. Tambakis directing traffic. Barry decides to clear it. He actually had more space than he realized. Haji Barry, he's done some damage on this field against North Carolina FC. Good to have him wearing the blue.
Yeah, he's had some success in this league over the last few years. Scored a lot of goals. He's a handful for sure, and he's a guy that Dave Sarkin told us he's going to be on the field quite a bit this year.
Couple touches, dangerous. Tambakis does well to slide out. Duvernay. Louisville has no intention of just bunkering in either. They're still attacking the back line of North Carolina FC. I like that. Here's Miller. Can Miller keep possession? He can. It'll be a throw in, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, it's always an issue when you're up a goal. You tend to invite a little bit more pressure. Just the nature of the game sort of sends you into that defensive formation, and Louisville's doing a good job of avoiding that.
'83rd minute. Louisville City FC up 1-0. Lancaster with the only goal. Looking for Barry was Brotherton. Denied by the new back line here, the two center backs for Louisville City FC. They've done a decent job.
Yeah, really solid all game. Obviously giving up a couple chances. The header from Cristo in the first half.
Miller. So Fortune came on for Spees. Barry came on for Manny Perez, as that'll come from Crystal. Ball deadens for Duvernay. He's able to loop it back. Good hustle there from Duvernay, and that'll earn a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, it was actually really well done from Caleb Duvernay to keep that alive. Put it in a dangerous spot.
Short corner, Fortune quickly to Taylor. Taylor back across. Brotherton. And now it'll be tick-tock and watch the clock go, as for sure Ben Lunt will not be in a hurry.
No, he's going to take his time here. Brotherton frustrated that he couldn't get more on that one. Sharpie did a good job of putting him off.
All right, Austin Deleuze. Fortune deciding to go short right there. Sometimes that makes me a little nuts. Is that a good play, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was fine. You know, you're able to put the ball in the box from a little bit of a different angle. But the biggest thing is they did end up getting it in the box, and it was a decent ball into the back post. Sometimes you see those plays end up a little bit short, and you get caught on the counter and stuff like that. But I don't have a problem with them doing it right there.
Okay, here's Lancaster. He's the goal scorer. Did he knock it off of Taylor? He did. Taylor, a little bit of frustration right there.
Yeah, it was a miscommunication there between DJ and Alex Comcia that allowed that ball to get in behind them.
Perfect scenario for Louisville City FC is they're up 1-0 and they're taking corner kicks. They're making it tough for North Carolina FC to get back in this one.
Yep.
Lofted ball. McCabe. McCabe will get it back. Brotherton finds Fortune. Fortune finds Smith. Tough ball though for Smith. Taken away by Louisville City FC.
Looks like we're going to see one more attacking sub here from North Carolina FC before we see the final whistle.
Proke.
Yep, Daniele Proke's going to come on. Not sure who it's for yet, but North Carolina FC going for it.
They need to find Abadawi. Smith. And he'll miss-hit it. And some frustration there from Smith is getting a little sloppy here the wrong way for the home team.
Yeah, and that's, again, you see the fitness might be playing a factor there with a misplayed pass.
Luke Spencer going to check in for Louisville, and Daniele Proke going to get a run. Nice young man, came right up to us at practice yesterday. Daniele did.
Yeah, a really good kid and a very talented player. I'm excited to see what he can do with his pro career. Loved watching him at Duke. He's got a little bit of something that you don't see too often. You know what I mean? He's got a little bit of skill, a little bit of savvy to him that is uncommon.
So they're going offense for defense here. Pro in, Smith out. So now Abadawi and Fortune and Proke will try to figure it out. Looks like they're going to maybe send Barry up top with Cristo and go to 4-4-2.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Luke Spencer makes his way on for Cameron Lancaster. Lancaster, job done for today.
Proke's first touch was off his head. Now Miller takes a shot, I think, to that nose, of course. Brotherton. Crystal's got to win this one. Proke is there. Almost looked like a handball. Now Miller. Tough touch for Miller and turned right back over. Piccolo. Picked up there by Proke. Taken right back, and then Cristo. They're going to give a card on that.
I'm not sure about that one. A little bit of frustration there, though, from Robbie Cristo. Couldn't get the ball off Del Piccolo.
So the yellow card going to Robbie Cristo.
Get another look at it here. He comes in, gets the ball on the first one there, gets dragged down. I don't know about that one. I think the next foul after that play might have been the one that the ref gave him the card on, but
Duvernay looking for Proke. Spencer just came on a moment ago. Now McCabe pushed down by Duvernay, and assistant referee says play on, but Spencer wins it right back. This guy's a handful.
Yeah, that's what he's coming on to do. Get a hold of the ball, get his teammates involved, and just kill this game off.
Tambakis quickly now to Fortune. Brotherton. Cristo. Kept alive. Now he's got to find a blue jersey. So important here. Cristo. Can he make something happen?
Yeah, the final ball's not there. And ultimately, that's not where you want Robbie Cristo at this point in the game, right? You don't want him serving it. You want him in the box, getting on the end of things.
Another costly turnover out of the back, and right now things are not humming well for North Carolina FC and Louisville City FC. Looks like they got a chance to come in here and take 3 away.
Yeah, it's looking that way. It's gotten a little bit sloppy from NCFC here in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Anything's possible, though. Fortune, Brotherton, quick reaction there to find Duvernay. Now Duvernay. Collision there. Brotherton. He slips, but pretty good ball over to Abadawi. And then Abadawi loses it. Taken away there by Bone. It's a good team, Louisville City FC, and it's also a good team, North Carolina FC. But on the day, at least the second half, the visitors have been a little better.
Yeah, just a little bit sharper. Again, I think fitness playing a factor. You know, Louisville had a little bit longer of a preseason, a few more preseason games to prepare. And you can see that in the last 10 minutes or so, maybe making a little bit of a difference. But
you see the 4 minutes. The fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of added time. We've already played almost 1 minute of that. Miller gets around Spencer. North Carolina FC, they got to go here, folks. 3 minutes remaining in this one. Abadawi loses it. Brotherton's got to get there quick. And it's going to go out of bounds, and Louisville City FC will take their time. There have been some issues out of the back here in this final 15.
Yeah, a couple times just taking chances. And at this point in the game, you'd like to see him probably go a little bit more direct. Just try to get that ball into the attacking third and see what happens.
All right, North Carolina FC will get it back. Here they go. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They got to go the distance here, though, folks. They are pinned in. And Louisville City FC not making it easy to get out of there. Proke back to Taylor. It's hard not to commend Louisville City FC's approach with this 1-0 lead. They're still going for it.
Yeah, I mean, they've picked up right where they left off last year. You know, there's a reason they've been the class of the league the last few years. And it looks like they're just keeping that going. You know, they took their chance when they got it. They haven't created a ton, to be fair. I think North Carolina FC's limited them to a couple good chances, but they took their chance and they've been super organized on the defensive side of the ball.
Proke hoping to find Barry. Barry now up top with Cristo, but Barry and Cristo have not really been in position to be dangerous strikers, and that is going to be something there as Taylor will get a tackle and a yellow card at the same time.
Yeah, that's probably going to take us pretty close to this 4-minute mark. See Corbin Bone there with the quick feed. He gets the nutmeg on DJ Taylor, and DJ just hauls him down.
So a yellow card for Cristo, now a yellow card for Taylor. Don't forget, everybody, North Carolina FC will, if this scoreline holds, will have a chance to redeem themselves against Philadelphia 2 next Saturday, 2:30 out here. Tickets available, $2 beers, as Austin DeLuz told you. Love to see you out here next Saturday, 2:30, WakeMed Soccer Park. And Spencer going to head over to the corner flag. North Carolina FC going to try to win it back, and they'll say, wow. It'll stay with Louisville, and that should just about do it here.
Yeah, they've done a good job of killing the game off, for sure.
This time Spencer loses it. The referee will probably give North Carolina FC one chance to see what they can build, but they're going to have to do it quick. And Bacchus has got to boot it. Referee's got the whistle, and that's going to do it. And the 2020 campaign will start with the perennial power Louisville City FC coming in to carry and knocking off. You saw the goal scorer there, Lancaster, knocking off Dave Sarakin's team. It's Louisville 1, North Carolina FC 0.
Yeah, a really positive start to the season for Louisville, and disappointing for North Carolina FC to drop points at home. It's, you know, something that the club's always prided itself on, is being good here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Having said that, you know, a couple positive moments. I think there's some good stuff to build on, and obviously it's early. You know, there's plenty of time to improve, and North Carolina FC will, like you said, they'll take what they can from this game and look to improve next weekend against Philly 2.
All right, I want to thank Kyle Lang and his great crew. Great to be with Austin DeLuz for his first game of what we hope are all of them for the 2020 season, and reminding you that North Carolina FC will be back here next Saturday to take on Philadelphia 2. For all those great people, I'm Dean Linke. Didn't have a whole lot of how about North Carolina FC. Instead, the winner on opening day, Louisville City FC 1, North Carolina FC 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
At some point, Manny.